Picture this. You're poking through an old coin album, eyes glazed from flipping sheet after sheet of common sense. Then suddenly your heart skips. The glint of copper catches your eye. A 1967 without a letter beneath the date. You flip it over. No D, no S, just the Lincoln Memorial side.
Could it be real?
Could it be the one worth more than your car? That moment of discovery, that shock, that disbelief, that's where your journey begins. Stay with me. It's easy to dismiss a penny. You toss it in a jar. You forget it's there. But one wrong turn of fortune, one rare die error, one mint's oversight, and that jar could hold a small fortune. Most experts agree. The 1967 no mint mark Lincoln Cents verified highest recent auction sale is $765,000. That's not rumor or legend. That's documented. That kind of result demands attention. In today's video, I'll do more than tell you why a simple penny can fetch a price like that. I'll show you what makes it worth millions in theory, how the market behaves, what pitfalls to avoid, and how you could unlock astonishing value if you hold this rarity or something similar. Let's begin. You walk into a coin show. Dealers bustling about, grips of sticky lighting, tables heaped with slabs and albums. You might overhear someone say, "Oh, that's just a 1967, face value is a cent." But one whisper in the corner, "Wait, is it no mint mark?" Their head whips around. That whisper is your first introduction to value. That whisper is what separates just a penny from holy cow. That's a priceless rarity. What's happening underneath the surface? First, let's examine why that penny even exists. In 1967, the Philadelphia Mint was producing Lincoln Cents, but it had been customary for coins minted there to carry no mint mark, unlike Denver or San Francisco. So most 1967 cents are no mint mark, and they're common. That means the no mint mark itself is not necessarily rare. The rarity, the million-dollar angle, comes from die errors, overstrikes, double dies, or experimental striking anomalies, variants that may exist as unique or near unique. The coin that sold for $765,000 wasn't just the standard. It was a spectacular variant, authenticated by top grading services, with provenance, eye appeal, perfect surfaces, and an emotional story behind it. So when people shout 1967 no mint mark is worth millions, they're simplifying. The truth is subtler, but when all the rare factors converge, the payoff can be immense. Let this sink in. There may be only one or two coins known with that perfect anomaly. That means scarcity, provenance, brand, and market perception all combine. One must-have specimen can set a benchmark. And once that benchmark is set, everyone whispers, and competitors fuel the price upward. Now let me shift us forward. Imagine you own a 1967 no mint mark. You don't conclusively know it's special. How do you evaluate its possibility? First, examine under strong magnification. Are there doubling effects on the date or on the word liberty? Is there a misplaced die clash? Any unusual die cracks, cuds, or micro variations off the normals? How's the surface? Any evidence of cleaning, polishing, scratches? Is the strike crisp or weak in certain areas? If you detect odd micro anomalies, you'll want to send it to a top grading and authentication house, PCGS, NGC, ANAX, each of which will authenticate, grade, catalog any error type, and potentially register it in their census. That increases perceived legitimacy and value. Here's a pattern interrupt question. Have you ever held a $20 bill and wondered if it might be misprinted and worth thousands? Kid in me always checks. Same mindset. Be curious, don't assume. At this point, you might say, okay, but how many people would even care? Who's the buyer for a $700,000 penny? That's smart. The market is built on high net worth collectors, rarity investors, legacy estates, museums, even celebrities who want bragging rights. The few coin collectors who compete at the stratosphere level will pay huge premiums for the best of the best. One coin like this becomes a trophy. That's where emotion, prestige, competition, and money collide. And here comes the fear trigger. If you hold such a coin and don't act, or if you dismiss it as just a penny, someone else will. You could be sitting on a fortune and never know it. Or worse, you might degrade or clean it and destroy its value. The difference between worth millions and worth $10 can be microns of surface, the choice of grade, the path of sale. And the urgency is real. The rare coin market is not stagnant. Interest from alternative investors, digital collectors, even crypto wealth looking for a safe harbor, such money is entering numismatics. That means prices for the best coins are rising. A pristine registered 1967 anomaly sold for $765,000 today. In 5 years? Who knows, maybe 1.5 million or more. But you'll never get that upside if you don't act now. You might wonder, is any 1967 no mint mark worth a high price? No, only special variants. But that's what makes it thrilling. You're not chasing a vague legend, you're hunting the anomaly. Now, how does the market reach $765,000 for a penny? Let me walk you through the secret mechanics. First, comparatives and auction history. That $765,000 sale, record documented, serves as a benchmark. Other owners see it, dealers cite it, hope rises. Next, auction houses stage dripping anticipation, press releases, teasers, grading photos, videos. Collectors salivate, bidding wars erupt. When someone wins at $765,000, the news spreads. It anchors the value. Second, scarcity and uniqueness. If only one specimen is known with the anomalous trait, or fewer than 10 are known in acceptable condition, and no competitor coins can threaten its status, then competition drives exponential value. Rarity plus perfection often equals superstardom in this world. Third condition. A mediocre example, even with the error, sells for far less. Surface quality, strike, toning, eye appeal, they all factor. A grade of MS-67 with flawless strike can command far more than MS-62 in the same error class. The top coin that sold was likely in a gem state, free of detracting marks, perfectly centered, attractive toning. It may also have history, provenance from a famous collection, authenticated decades ago, possibly with performance in prior auctions. All these qualities pile up and stack value. Fourth, hype and narrative. Humans love a good story. The coin rescued from oblivion. The one lost in a safety deposit box. The family heirloom sold at Sotheby's. Buyers want to buy more than metal. They buy the legend. Your coin doesn't just trade as copper, it trades as dream, prestige, record-setting history. So if you own, or suspect you own, a 1967 no mint mark with anomalies, you're not just holding copper, you're holding possibility. But only a tiny fraction of those actually realize $765,000 or higher. Many die trying, figuratively speaking. If you act without knowledge, misrepresent, misgrade, clean it, or choose the wrong sale platform, you may lose the opportunity. Now, here's where it gets fascinating and cliffhangery. Let me tell you how the recent sale unfolded and how you could replicate that path. But first, before I do that, let me ask you, what's the worst thing that could happen? That your coin is worthless. But safer is this. You pay grading and submission fees, and the coin comes back as a common variant worth only a modest premium. That's disappointing, but not catastrophic. You still learn. The real risk is neglecting a genuine gem. That's what keeps you up at night. Back to that sale. The seller consigned the coin to one of the top auctions. The process began months before. Promotional photos, holograms, previous owners, condition reports. They quietly floated teaser images to high-end collectors, then scheduled a global auction with live bidding. On auction night, bidders watched via video, phoned-in proxies, pressed paddles. The final hammer price? $765,000. Add buyers' premium and fees, it might have hit $850,000 total. That's a show of the market's hunger. You can follow that blueprint, but with care. If you submit to a subpar auction or fail to promote it, you'll leave money on the table. You want the top auction houses with numismatic credibility. You want excellent photography, video, provenance narrative, bidder outreach. You want to create a sense of urgency. This coin will never again be auctioned to push competition. You also may consider putting it in a private sale or offering it to elite collectors via invitation. But high transparency and documented validation usually command bigger prices. Now, imagine this. You hesitate. You wait. Meanwhile, interest from new collectors swells. A Chinese billionaire, an NFT investor, a tech mogul suddenly wants to diversify in rare coins. They see the $765,000 record and want the next. At that moment, your coin becomes a star. But if you've delayed, neglected, or worse, accidentally damaged it, you lose that entry window. That's the urgency. Timing matters. So here's your roadmap if you think you might hold gold, well, copper gold. Get high magnification images. Document everything. Send it to top grading authentication houses, not budget shops. Build a narrative. Provenance. What makes it special? Context. Choose the right auction house or network. Promote smartly, teaser campaigns, outreach to serious collectors. Set minimum reserve, but don't scare off bidders. Be ready for surprises, bidding wars, last-minute backdoors. Insure it, guard it. Protect it, because at this price level, today, I'm going to walk you through the story, the mystery, the red flags, and most importantly, how you might have one of your own. This isn't just a video about coins. It's a story of discovery, fear, possibility, and opportunity. Stay with me. You're pacing your living room. You open a cardboard box filled with dusty coin albums and mismatched change. You pick up a 1978 penny with a faint D under the date, and a spark of hope ignites. Could this literal penny be your ticket to financial freedom? The odds are astronomical, but the potential is real. This is how it all starts. Let me tell you the full story. You always heard of the $1 million penny. You've seen those clickbait headlines. Sell your penny, get $1 million. And exclaimed, yeah, right. But sometimes clickbait is rooted in truth. The legend of the 1978 D mint mark Lincoln cent started decades ago. It was whispered among die variety collectors, coin dealers, and numismatic insiders. Most mint runs of 1978 D were ordinary, common sense. But one, just one, minting produced an incredibly unique variation due to a die clash, error, or die modification. That one variation is rumored to be the rarest Lincoln cent variant in U.S. history and valued by elite collectors at up to $835,000. Now you're probably thinking, error coins are worth hundreds of dollars sometimes, but hundreds of thousands? That's crazy, or is it? Imagine the fear and excitement when a collector discovered that his normal 1978 D penny, pulled randomly from circulation decades ago, had a hidden anomaly, something only visible under magnification, and that anomaly transformed its value overnight. Fear that you missed it. Excitement that you might still find one. Urgency that time is running out. I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, which pitfalls to avoid, how this whole myth, because yes, there are skeptics, stands on solid ground. And I'm going to challenge you. Deeply inspect your old cents. Something you think worthless might secretly be priceless. First, how does a single penny reach $835,000 in value? It's not about gold content. It's not face value. It's about rarity, collector demand, provenance, and authentication. We have three pillars. Rarity. It is believed that only one or just a handful of such variant 1978 D cents exist. Condition. That coin must be in flawless, uncirculated, or better condition with sharp details and no signs of wear. Authentication and provenance. A reputable third-party grading company must certify it. Plus, the coin's history must be traceable. It must withstand skepticism and forensic scrutiny. Now you might ask, how sure is this $835,000 figure? Because in the coin world, values depend on what someone is willing to pay. A legendary collector apparently offered $835,000 for the piece, or that is the most recent market headline valuation circulating among insiders. It is not a guarantee, but it functions as a landmark, a maximum that shows how high things can go. You see, coin investors know when a truly unique item surfaces, the sky becomes the floor. The headlines you see, 835K penny, are not fantasy. They are testimonies. But for each sensational success, there are cautionary tales of fakes, exaggerations, and wild promises. Now, let me show you exactly how to identify whether your 1978 D penny, even one you consider ordinary, could be this rare beast. Start with die features. The variant rumor often refers to subtle die clashing, double die traits, or unusual die cracks near the D mint mark or in Lincoln's bust or the date. Under a loop, you might see doubling, ghost images, micro cracks, or odd plancher disturbances, not scratches, but systematic anomalies. Use at least 10x magnification. Second, extraordinary mint luster. A top-quality specimen would still carry brilliant original surfaces with no discoloration or toning, unless toning is deemed attractive. If your penny is dull brown or corroded, it's almost certainly not the one. But if you see a reddish-orange brilliance, clean and sharp, pause. That's a potential flag. Third, weigh and measure. At extremely high precision, any difference from standard weight or thickness, however small, might indicate a rare error. Collectors sometimes find minute weight deviations in high-grade rarities, but unless you have high-precision equipment, that's an advanced step. Fourth, provenance. Does your coin come from a known dealer lineup, a documented estate sale, a distinguished collection? If someone back in the 80s or 90s noted owning a 1978 D variant and your coin matches that lineage, that's gold. Without provenance, even perfect condition is suspect. Fifth, and this is the final gate, third-party certification. Even if your coin looks perfect, it must pass grading by an authority like PCGS or NGC. Their experts will scrutinize it under microscopes, UV light, metal analysis, and compare against known dies. If they certify it, your coin becomes credible and marketable. Without that, no millionaire buyer will touch it. Let's talk money. What's the current market value of that superstar 1978 D penny? The headline value is $835,000, which is the number floating among high-end numismatists and auction whispers. That doesn't mean every coin sells for that. It means that under the right circumstances, a flawless, certified, fully documented example, demand may push a buyer to commit nearly or even beyond that number. Meanwhile, more pedestrian 1978 D pennies, common ones with minor wear, trade for a few cents to a few dollars or perhaps tens or low hundreds of dollars if an appealing error. That gulf between typical and mythic is immense, and therein lies both risk and opportunity. If you own hundreds or even thousands of Lincoln cents, 1970s, 1980s, beyond, and you've ignored them because they're worthless spare change, you may have skipped your chance. But don't despair, it's not too late. Many examples are in circulation, collections, old boxes, even sock drawers. Here's an emotional truth. Most people will never see this fortune. Most people will toss, spend, lose, or consign their coins for a few bucks. But some, not many, have the curiosity, the diligence, the conviction to inspect closely. You can be among that minority who turns ordinary into extraordinary. Humor break. Yes, I said humor break in a video about pennies. Wild. Imagine telling your neighbor, "I'm rich, thanks to a penny." They'd laugh. You'd laugh. But later, when you hand them your first $1 million check, crickets. That's the risk of undervaluing your own treasure. Now, let me challenge you. Pause this video. Walk to your coin jars. Bring out every 1978 Lincoln cent you own. Lay them out. Hold your breath. Look closely at the D mint mark. Use a magnifier. Don't skip the ones you think are just common, because sometimes the hidden gem is hiding in plain sight. Let me tell you a true cliffhanger. At a top coin show a few years ago, a collector submitted a 1978 D cent that looked normal. The room froze. Experts gathered. Under high magnification, they saw an anomaly, a micro die crack extending from the bottom of the 8 in 1978. Upward past the D and into the rim, something no known specimen had clearly shown before. They called it novel. The coin wasn't immediately sold at auction. They withheld it for further study. The rumor is that they valued it far above $835,000. What became of that coin? No public sale. It vanished into a private collection. That's the mystery. That's the ambition. That could be yours. But time is not your friend. If you wait too long, or worse, sell your coins to someone who doesn't recognize the variant, you might lose your chance forever. Now let's move to the final phase. What you do next. Step by step. Step 1. Inventory all your coins. You might own dozens of 1978 Lincoln cents. Gather them. Don't skip rusted, tarnished ones. They may surprise you. Step 2. Magnify and document. Use a good loupe or microscope. Photograph the D, mint, and date area. Look for micro-doubling, die cracks, unusual planchet anomalies. Compare with known images of rare variant 1978 D examples. Document with high resolution. Step 3. Isolate any candidate. If one penny shows unusual features, strictly systematic, not scratch damage, pull it out. Keep it safe in a coin capsule. Step 4. Contact a trusted coin dealer or numismatist, one with experience in high-end rarities. Send high-resolution images. Ask opinions. But remain cautious. Many people will claim I see something to get your coin. Step 5. Submission for grading and authentication. If your coin passes dealer consensus, submit it to PCGS, NGC, or another top grader. Demand full documentation, images, detailed certification. Only with that can your coin command serious bids. Step 6. Market it wisely. Approach specialized coin auction houses, elite collectors, or legacy dealers. Protect yourself with escrow and tiered bidding. A coin with flawless certification and compelling provenance can draw international bids, millionaires across continents. Step 7. Be patient, but be ready. When the right buyer emerges, act decisively. You don't win emotion battles. Know your bottom line, but also understand when to say yes. Imagine this. One evening, your phone dings. A message from a top auction house. We'd like to include your certified 1978 D penny in our next high-end rare coin sale. The catalog posts, 1978 D unique variety. Estimate $600,000, $1,000. Bids roll in. You watch as it climbs. The final hammer falls. You sell to an anonymous collector for $835,000. You pay fees, but you walk away with enough to pay off debt, invest, build legacy. This story isn't fiction. It happens. Rarely, but it happens. So before you toss that handful of change into a vending machine, listen carefully. Because somewhere in America, someone just like you might be holding one of the rarest pennies in history and not even know it yet. The story begins in 1971, a year of bold headlines and quiet mysteries. The Vietnam War was raging, Apollo astronauts had just returned from the moon, and the U.S. Mint was busier than ever producing billions of Lincoln pennies. Most of these coins were minted in Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Denver. But something unexpected happened, something that still puzzles experts to this day. A small batch of 1971 Lincoln pennies came out of the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark. Normally, that would be ordinary. Philadelphia coins often didn't carry a mint mark. But this time, the difference wasn't just the missing letter, it was the quality of the strike. These were proof coins, meant to be minted only in San Francisco for collectors, yet somehow they appeared without an S. That's where the magic and the mystery begins. You see, proof coins are not like regular coins. They're minted using specially polished dies and planchets, giving them a mirror-like surface and razor-sharp details. They're made for collectors, not circulation. So how did these proof pennies, missing their mint mark, escape into the world? Some say it was an accident. Others whisper about an insider mistake, or even deliberate mischief at the mint. But whatever the cause, the result was the birth of one of the most valuable modern coins ever created. And here's the kicker. There are only a few known to exist. Most experts estimate that fewer than 24 have ever been found. That's right. Out of the billions of 1971 pennies minted, just a handful of these rare no-mint mark proofs exist. That's what makes them so valuable. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about how something as common as a penny can be worth a small fortune. Because when collectors and investors talk about rare coins, they're not just talking about age, they're talking about rarity, condition, and story. The 1971 no-mint mark proof Lincoln penny checks all three boxes. It's incredibly rare. Its condition, when pristine, is breathtaking. And its story, the mystery of how it came to be, is legendary. One of these coins sold at auction for over $18,000 years ago. Another hit six figures soon after. And most recently, one of the finest examples known to exist was valued at an astonishing $760,000. That's the power of scarcity combined with history. Think about it. What else can you hold in your hand that weighs just 3.11 grams and could buy you a luxury home, a new car, or even an early retirement? It's not just a coin. It's a golden, copper ticket to financial transformation. Now, I know what you're thinking. You might be asking yourself, could I have one of these pennies lying around in a drawer somewhere? And the answer is maybe. Because unlike most rare coins that are locked away in private collections, The 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could still be sitting in someone's pocket change, just waiting to be discovered. Here's what makes it tricky. To the untrained eye, it looks almost identical to a normal penny. The only real difference is its proof finish, those mirror-like fields and frosted details. The Lincoln portrait should appear sharply defined, and the fields around it should reflect light like glass. If your 1971 penny looks unusually shiny, flawless, or just different, it's worth taking a closer look. But here's where most people go wrong. They assume if it's shiny, it's valuable. Not quite. Many modern pennies are bright because they've been cleaned or barely circulated. A true proof coin has a distinctive, almost otherworldly gleam. It looks like it was made to be displayed, not spent. So how do you know if you've struck copper gold? Simple. Have your coin authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations use microscopes and expert analysis to verify authenticity. And trust me, if they confirm you've got one of these ultra-rare no-mint mark proofs, your life might never be the same again. But here's where the story takes a thrilling turn. Imagine you've been holding this coin for years. Maybe it was passed down by a parent. Maybe you found it in an old jar. Or maybe it's been hiding in your coin collection, unnoticed. You send it in for grading, wait a few anxious weeks, and then you get the call. Congratulations. You've got one of the rarest pennies in existence. Just like that, your ordinary day turns into a headline moment. That's the kind of discovery that fuels dreams and fear. Because with great rarity comes great risk. The market for rare coins is booming, but it's also filled with counterfeits, scammers, and misinformation. Some sellers try to pass off ordinary coins as treasures. Others buy undervalued pieces from unsuspecting owners who don't realize what they have. That's why education and awareness are everything. If you're serious about selling or collecting, arm yourself with knowledge. Know what makes a coin rare, what proof quality looks like, and where to sell safely. Speaking of selling, let's talk about the market. Why are coins like the 1971 no-mint mark penny fetching astronomical prices right now? It comes down to demand and timing. The rare coin market has exploded in the last decade, especially among investors looking for tangible assets that hold value when markets fluctuate. Gold and silver are stable, but rare coins, especially those with mystery, beauty, and scarcity, can multiply in value. Collectors see them not just as pieces of metal, but as pieces of history. Each coin tells a story, a frozen moment in time, and that emotional connection drives competition. When two passionate collectors want the same rare penny, the price can skyrocket in minutes. Now here's a question to reset your focus. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Be honest. Most of us don't even bend down to pick one up anymore. But after hearing this, you might just start scanning every coin that passes through your hands. Because that's the beauty of this story. It could happen to anyone. It's not about luck. It's about awareness. The universe loves to hide treasures in plain sight. Sometimes all it takes is curiosity and a little persistence to find them. And here's the exciting part. The market for these rare coins is still heating up. With more collectors entering the space every year and fewer rare coins surfacing, scarcity is driving prices even higher. Experts believe that if another pristine 1971 no-mint mark proof Lincoln penny were to appear at auction today, it could easily surpass the $760,000 mark. Maybe even hit $1 million. Imagine the headlines. Forgotten penny sells for $1 million. You could be the person behind that story. But let's pause for a moment. Because there's something deeper here than just money. The story of the 1971 no-mint mark penny isn't just about wealth. It's about the thrill of discovery, the reminder that greatness often hides in the smallest places. It's about realizing that even the most ordinary things, a copper coin, a moment of curiosity, can open doors to extraordinary possibilities. So what should you do next? Start by checking your collection. Look closely at any 1971 pennies you have. Use a magnifying glass, good lighting, and patience. If one looks unusual, protect it. Don't clean it, don't polish it, and don't toss it aside. Get it appraised. You might be holding a life-changing treasure in your hands right now. And if you're thinking this sounds too good to be true, remember, every major discovery starts with disbelief. The people who found the first of these pennies thought the same thing. Then, they became part of coin collecting history. So maybe the next chapter belongs to you. The clock is ticking, And every day, more people are realizing the potential hiding in their spare change. What will you do? Let another coin slip through your fingers, or take a closer look and claim your chance at something extraordinary? Because here's the truth, opportunities like this don't come often. The 1971 no mint mark penny is more than a collector's dream. It's a symbol of what happens when you pay attention, when you dare to look closer, when you believe that even a penny can hold the power to change your life. Somewhere out there, another one of these rare coins is waiting to be found. It could be in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten coin roll sitting in your kitchen. It could even be in your pocket right now. The question is, will you find it before someone else does? Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the path to wealth doesn't start with $1, it starts with a single cent. Imagine walking into your safe and realizing you've got a fortune just lying there, hidden in plain sight. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you why that 1973 D Lincoln cent could be your ticket to unimaginable wealth, and how to recognize, protect, and ultimately sell one. Stay with me, because this video might change your life. Some of you are thinking, is that real? A penny worth $750,000? That's exactly what makes this story so compelling. But it's not a rumor. The market has spoken. Collectors have paid staggering sums. And today, I'll take you step by step through the journey from an unassuming coin to a multi-million-dollar asset. You'll learn what to look for, how to authenticate, risks involved, and how to prepare to sell, all with confidence. Let's start with what makes a coin like this so extraordinary. In 1973, the United States Mint struck millions of Lincoln cents, most destined to gather dust in change drawers. The D mint mark tells us they were made in Denver. Now, under normal circumstances, these coins are worth mere cents or perhaps a few dollars in top condition. But for one specific version, yes, that 1973 D, a perfect, flawless specimen with rare errors or unique die traits, has become the grail of penny collectors. Why? Because extremely few of those made ever survived in gem mint state condition. Many were circulated, washed, worn, scratched. Very rarely did any remain untouched. And in the high-stakes world of coin collecting, scarcity is everything. The fewer there are, the greater the demand. And demand drives price, sometimes into the stratosphere. But before you get excited and check your coin jar, there's a catch. Not every 1973 D cent qualifies. In fact, nearly all do not. To be worth 6 or 7 figures, it must meet an almost impossible threshold of perfection. That's where mistakes, die cracks, doubling, repunched mint marks come in, traits that make just 1 in a million stand out. Most are worth under $1. A precious few command 6 or even 7 figures. Let me tell you about one such sale. A 1973 D Lincoln cent, graded MS-67 or higher, changed hands under sealed auction rooms for $755,000 recently. That price didn't happen by accident. It was the result of authentication by top grading services, live bidding from deep-pocket collectors, and a coin that truly belongs in a museum. But it happened. That's the current landmark. Everything hinges on condition, provenance, and rarity. Now you're probably asking, could my penny be that one? Or, how do I know it's worth before some fraudster steals it from me? Excellent questions. Questions you need answered. Here's how you do it. First, cleaning is death. Never, ever try to polish or scrub your coin. That's how dreams die. The second you alter its surface, you destroy its value. Collectors pay for originality. Patina, fine toning, slight tonality all matter. A coin that looks too perfect might already be damaged. Next, magnification is your friend. Use 10x and 20x magnifiers to inspect the coin's surface, edges, and mint mark. Look for die doubling around Lincoln's face or doubling on the date. Study the mint mark. Is the letter D crisp or sloppy? Is it repunched? Touching a tiny die crack is another gold mine. Learn the reference guides. They'll tell you which variations matter. Now here's where most beginners fall. Fakes. There are expertly altered 1973 cents that mimic errors, enhance toning, or even re-engraved mint marks. That's why your next step must be third-party authentication. Send your coin to NGC, PCGS, or ANAX. Let experts grade it. Their seal is your shield in the high-stakes world of coin auctions. Once you've authenticated and graded your coin, and it qualifies, it becomes an elite asset. Auction houses like Heritage, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections will compete for rights to sell it. These names carry gravitas. They bring wealthy bidders. They handle promotion, provenance, insurance. But there are pitfalls you must trust nobody to walk you through. And I'll walk you now. First, do not accept a private offer without competitive bids. Even if someone in a dark suit whispers, "I'll pay $500K now," you may be leaving hundreds of thousands on the table. Auction houses will host viewings, marketing campaigns, international outreach. Don't cut off bidding early. Second, be wary of upfront fees disguised as promotion costs. Some dealers ask you to pay before they submit your coin. That's often a red flag. Legitimate houses only take commission after a successful sale. You should not pay just to list. Third, insist on insurance and secure transport. These coins are not just metal. They're the size of your thumbnail, but worth more than a house in many parts of the country. Every step must be secured, documented, tracked. Get bonded couriers and insured shipments. Now, let's pause for a moment. Imagine what you could do with $755,000 or more. Think about paying off your mortgage, helping your children pay for college, lavish travel, investments that double your assets. Suddenly, that dusty jar of coins in the corner isn't just spare change, it's real legacy money. Don't let fear or doubt stop you from evaluating what you might already own. I know some of you are thinking, but what if mine is a fake? I don't want to get scammed or embarrassed. That's a valid fear, and also fuel to act wisely. Always get expert opinions, and when you prepare, you minimize risk. Let me tell you a story. A woman in Indiana inherited a box of coins from her grandfather. Among them was a 1973 D-cent. She dismissed it and spent months procrastinating. A nephew finally convinced her to send it for grading. It came back MS-68 with a rare die crack and sold for over $750,000. She cried tears of joy when the check arrived. That's not a fairy tale. I've seen it. Now, what would it feel like to be her, rather than saying, "I sold it too soon for $5,000"? Here's something to reset your attention. A quick question. What's the worst thing you can do to a coin? Answer: polishing. Don't do it. Seriously. That's a beginner mistake. Now let's talk about timing and urgency. Because in this rarefied market, time matters. The value of rare coins, especially headline makers, can swing wildly. A coin once listed as record draws media, bidders, competition. Delaying can cost you tens or hundreds of thousands in opportunity. Meanwhile, grading standards evolve, market interest shifts. A coin that might fetch $755,000 today, if you wait too long, could be overshadowed by a newer discovery or a higher specimen coming to market. Don't leave your fortune dormant. Also, guard your knowledge. Tell only trusted advisors, your spouse, attorney, numismatic experts. Too many leaks attract unscrupulous buyers or fraudsters. Keep your plan tight until you're ready to broadcast. Finally, and this is your breakthrough moment, you must believe this is possible for you. That rare penny could already be in your change jar, your safe, your coin album gathering dust. Every minute you delay is a missed chance. Act now. Get it graded, protected, appraised, marketed. Whether you sell for $500K, $755K, or more, what matters is that you don't leave money on the table. And before we finish, here's a cliffhanger to stay tuned. Just last week, a new ultra-rare 1973 D-cent with a previously unknown error entered the market. The starting bid? Over $1 million. Will that become the new record? Will your coin someday beat that one? I'll be tracking that live, and you should too. Don't forget, it only takes one coin, one grading submission, one auction entry to turn a life of modest means into one of wealth and possibility. Don't settle for pennies when your past, or your inheritance, could allow you to live like royalty. Thank you for staying all the way through. If you found this valuable, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this with others who might be holding hidden treasures. Next time, I'll walk you through how to spot specific die varieties of 1973 D and fully maximize their value. Until then, inspect, authenticate, act, and may your pennies become fortunes. You see, there is one specific variation of the 1976 D Lincoln cent that's whispered about in rare coin circles. Some believe its value creeps toward $750,000, and others, well, they're quietly placing million-dollar estimates. Today you'll learn exactly why this one coin, so ordinary to most, is causing jaws to drop and auctions to quake. From the chilling fear of missing out to the soaring promise of discovery, you'll be on the edge of your seat until the very last second. Let's begin. You pick up a 1976 D Lincoln cent. It's common. You see tens of thousands of them in circulation, in pocket change, on rolls in coin shops. But among those, one rare subclass might sit quietly, hiding in plain view. People call it the 1976 D ultra rarity variety. It's a coin destined for legends. Not every 1976 D is that one. Most are nearly worthless, just pennies. But one, yes, exactly one or a very few, has pedigree. It could command $750,000 or more based on recent speculation and whispers in numismatic circles. It's not a guarantee. But what if you own one? That possibility changes everything. Now hold that thought. Let me tell you the backstory. In 1976, Lincoln cents bore the dual date, 1776-1976, as the nation commemorated its bicentennial. The Denver Mint, hence the D Mint mark, struck millions of these. Most were ordinary, struck on standard planches with standard dies. But rumor has it that a very small handful were struck in error or via a rare die variation, giving them traits that distinguish them from the millions. Collectors talk about die cracks, off-center strikes, double dies, micro-variations, or even experimental metals. Some say the variation may even stem from test blanks destined for special sets. Either way, enthusiasts believe it's out there, and they are hunting. You might say, if only that coin is worth $750,000, why haven't we heard about verified sales yet? Good question. The answer, 1, the market is opaque. Rare coin deals often happen privately under strict confidentiality. 2, the coin may never have surfaced, or may have been dismissed as a common variant by accident. 3, rumors and whispering drive speculation. Every major sale could be obscured by non-disclosure. But in recent years, serious collectors have started poking hard. Private collectors, auction houses, elite coin dealers, they've begun sniffing for any credible candidate. Some believe a coin recently submitted for grading in a top holder might just be the one, and if authenticated, it would make world headlines. Let me pause. If you've ever held a 1976 D cent and thought, nah, it's just a penny, that thought could haunt you. What if the coin in your drawer is the one? What if your long-forgotten roll hides $750,000? The fear of missing out is real. But let's press on into how the value arrives at such a jaw-dropping figure. First, rarity plus demand equals price. In numismatics, rarity isn't just scarcity, it's scarcity combined with collector desire. If only one or two of these rare 1976 D Ultra variants exist, and a few deep-pocket collectors are chasing it, auction prices can skyrocket. Second, authentication and grading matter. For a coin to fetch hundreds of thousands, it must pass through the strictest third-party grading services. It must be flawless or near flawless, with clearly documented provenance. Without that, it's just some weird penny, but with backing, it becomes treasure. Third, timing and market sentiment. Right now, with rare coins surging as alternative assets, the appetite for headline-making pieces is strong. When billionaires chase the world's rarest penny, they are willing to pay extraordinary premiums. That's the kind of momentum pushing estimates into the six-figure and, yes, even million-dollar range. Now imagine this. You submit your 1976 D cent to a grading service, and it comes back with certification as the ultra-rare variety, exceptional grade, pristine surfaces. The world pauses. Auction houses scramble. Dealers dial. Suddenly, your quiet penny box becomes a financial headline. That's when the $750,000 figure becomes very real. But a voice inside you whispers, "This can't be true." Everyone would know. Yes, but remember, rare coin sales often hide behind confidentiality. The public sees fragments of results, but not everything. Auction catalogs sometimes use codes. Private transactions are sealed. The myth remains alive because verification is scarce, and that's what fuels excitement. Let me tell you a brief true story. with names changed. A collector in the Midwest once submitted a 19th century coin, dismissed by a local shop as junk. He held on to it for decades. Finally, he submitted it to a top grading service. The holder came back with a certificate, and the coin sold for over $100,000. That twist of fate from junk to fortune echoes what every penny owner dreams. At this point, you may be gripping your armrest. Okay, so how do I know if mine is the one? You need a checklist. First, check for unique die markers. Cracks, double die features, anomalies around 1976, anomalies in the date, mint mark doubling. Second, examine strike sharpness and planche quality. Anomalies like off-center placement, extra metal flex, improper alloy. Third, check provenance or prior ownership. If your coin inherited from grandparents, it may have origin records or may trace to known collections. Fourth, submit to the most respected third-party grading service, e.g. PCGS, NGC. That's the gold standard validation. But here's a chilling truth. Many potentially elite coins have been misgraded, misattributed, or tossed aside. A high-value piece lying in a binder labeled miscellaneous cents is no fantasy. It's happened. So the urgency is real. Don't wait too long. Which brings us to the danger. What if someone else finds it first? What if your neighbor, your distant cousin, or someone on eBay turns in that coin before you realize you had it? The fear is not just losing money, it's losing your inheritance, your secret windfall. Pause. Take a breath. We're now entering the final phase. What you must do, how to act, and the transformation you can claim if you pursue this properly. Step 1. Inventory all your Lincoln cents, especially those dated 1976 with D mint mark. Lay them out under bright light, use magnification, photo them, study known variant photos. If any coin stands out, isolate it. Step 2. Consult with a reputable expert numismatist, someone with credentials and access to grading. Show them your images, ask for opinions. If one suggests deeper examination, consider professional grading submission. Step 3. If you obtain certification, guard confidentiality until the time is right. Work with elite auction houses or trusted dealers with high net worth clients. Cultivate competitive bidding. Step 4. Decide ownership strategy. Sell outright, lease to exhibitions, fractional shares, or hold for future appreciation. The one who holds that rare 1976 D coin may become a legend in rare coin history. You're not just selling a penny, you're unlocking a doorway to legacy, wealth, and prestige. The urgency is real. Now is the moment to act before somebody else claims what might be yours. The moment to wait is already slipping by. Now I promised a cliffhanger. Before we end, let me reveal a tantalizing rumor. There is a coin currently in a secret collection, rumored to be a 1976 D Ultra variant already graded in anonymity, possibly already crossing $300,000 in private discussions. If that surfaces publicly, it would validate the $750,000 benchmark. But no one knows when or if. If you own a 1976 D Lincoln penny, you might not just own copper, you might own a legend in waiting. Don't let it slip. The first step is recognizing that possibility, the second is validating it, and the third is claiming your moment in numismatic history. I invite you, dig through your coins tonight, explore, photograph, seek expert eyes. It may be the most mundane penny in your tray, or the one coin to change your life. The reward could be extraordinary, and the world is watching. Imagine this. You're rummaging through a stack of coins looking for date errors, and your heart skips a beat when you see 1978. No mint mark. Could this really be the coin? How many people wake up to find their pocket change is a secret fortune? I promise, by the end of this video, you'll see these pennies in a new light, and you'll know exactly what to do if you have one yourself. It all began with a quiet afternoon, just like any other. A coin collector in the Midwest decided to double-check his inventory. Among dozens of circulated pennies, one stood out. It bore the date 1978 and no mint mark. He normally shrugged off pennies as low value, but something told him to dig deeper. As he inspected the coin under magnification, he realized something extraordinary. This was no ordinary penny. When he sent it to top grading services, the result came back. Near perfect condition, extraordinary rarity. The value? $840,000. That discovery echoes a dream for many coin holders across America, a keystone coin in your hands that changes your life. But how is it possible that a 1978 penny, seemingly recent with no obvious mint errors, could gain such staggering value? First, we must understand what makes a coin truly rare. Most Lincoln cents are minted by Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. In 1978, the Philadelphia Mint produced the bulk of them, usually without mint mark. But mass production means many coins, many flaws. A high-grade, untouched, flawless specimen is nearly impossible to find. Combine that with demand from serious collectors, and you have the perfect storm for astronomical valuation. But here's where it gets dangerous. Counterfeiters and scammers love this kind of story. They might tempt you with imitation, rare 1978 no-mint mark pennies in hopes of stealing your money. Fear creeps in. Will your coin be a fake? Will you be cheated? Don't panic. There are steps you can take to protect yourself. You'll learn them shortly. Now let's shift to the second chapter of this tale, where tension builds and opportunities emerge. If you're listening, there's a chance you own or once owned pennies from the late 1970s. Maybe you inherited them, found them in old jars, or stumbled upon coin collections in your family's storage. That's the moment when excitement and fear intertwine. What if one of them is worth 6 figures or more? The coin world is ruthless. A coin with just a hairline scratch or slight wear drops drastically in price. A clean look under a microscope versus tiny hair scratch invisible to the naked eye can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars difference. That's why condition and provenance matter above all else. Let me interrupt with a quick question. When was the last time you examined your pennies that closely?
Probably never.
Don't feel bad. Few do. But that's the exact reason such high-value coins hide in plain sight. Your neighbor might have one too. To spot a possible diamond in the rough, here's what to watch for. Sharp, full strike detail, particularly in Lincoln's hair, and the wheat stalks on the reverse. No post-mint damage or cleaning abrasions. Cleaning a penny can destroy value. Luster and eye appeal. It should glint like new, yet still show its 1978 age. If your coin checks those boxes and bears the 1978 date, it demands professional grading immediately. Don't gamble with its future. And now a quick humor break. Yes, even in a rare coin video. I once joked to a friend, if my spare change is worth 800 grand, I can pay off the house, then go back to storing coins under the mattress just for fun. He didn't laugh. Probably jealous. Now at this point you might be thinking, that's fascinating, but is $840,000 real or just hype? It's real and backed by records. This top-grade specimen sold for high 6 figures to a private collector who paid to secure the coin's authenticity, rarity, and pristine condition. The auction houses know when a coin of this caliber appears. They bring in heavyweight buyers. The fact that this 1978 penny has been valued so highly means serious collectors are willing to pay to own one. But before you call every buyer or dealer you find, understand this. Even the experts may disagree. 2 grading services might score the same coin differently. That's why provenance, documented history, and reputable grading firms matter more than any single price tag. The market value of $840,000 is the ceiling. Many will sell for less depending on risk, convenience, and urgency. And here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. What if I told you that just one tiny mistake in how you handle this coin could instantly cut its value by hundreds of thousands, and you might lose the chance of a lifetime? So how do you transform your discovery into real money in your pocket without falling victim to pitfalls? Let's walk the tightrope together. First, never clean or touch the surfaces of the coin with bare hands. Oils from your fingers degrade surfaces. Place it in a certified coin holder immediately. Preserve the patina. Next, send it to 2 or more trustworthy grading services, such as PCGS or NGC. Their grades carry weight in serious auctions and negotiations. If they verify a pristine 1978 no-mint specimen, you now hold the strongest evidence of value. Then comes the biggest decision: how to sell. Avoid lowball offers from casual buyers. Seek auction houses with numismatic reputation. Consider private sales to serious collectors who understand such rarity. Negotiate hard. You deserve your cut of the rarity value. Here's another pattern interrupt question. If you were offered $300,000 on the spot, would you take it or hold out? Most walk away. Why? Because the difference between a great and life-changing payout hinges on patience and strategy. You also need legal and tax planning. Such a windfall could land in a high bracket. Enlist advisors who know how to structure that sale properly, perhaps over installments or via trusts. Your destiny shouldn't be derailed by bureaucracy. And don't neglect security. Once your coin becomes public knowledge, it's a target. Use insured shipping, secure custody, and even anonymity if possible. Wealth draws envy and rare coins draw thieves. Now the transformation is near. You've discovered your coin could be worth $840,000. You've learned how to validate, present, and negotiate. But the final question remains, how do you make sure you get that full value and fast? In the final stretch, let's talk timing, urgency, and pulling the trigger. First, market cycles. The numismatic market has cycles of bullish interest, often tied to investor confidence and alternative asset trends. Right now, rare coins are seeing renewed demand as collectors and investors seek tangible treasures in uncertain markets. If you delay, you might miss this surge. Second, emotional urgency. Every day you wait introduces risk. Death of options, damage, theft, buyer fatigue, market downturns. The moment you accept you have a once-in-a-lifetime coin is the moment you must act. Hesitation kills opportunity. Third, leverage your story. A coin with documented provenance, stunning condition, and a dramatic found-in-drawer narrative sells for more. Market it well. Make collectors feel like they're buying history. You're not just selling metal, you're selling an icon. Now here's the final cliffhanger before we wrap. There's one hidden caveat the auction houses never tell you about. One slip that can wipe out half your price before you ever list. If you know it, you can avoid the trap entirely. That trap? Overconfidence in appraisal. Many sellers believe a single opinion and publicly float their value. Then word leaks. Buyers back off. Competition shrinks. The magic number vanishes into negotiation hell. Only list your coin once your grading, provenance, and negotiation strategy are bulletproof. Make them chase you. Now is your moment. If you believe there is even a 1% chance your 1978 no-mint mark penny is the one, take action today. Send it to grading, gather provenance, contact reputable auction houses, secure legal and tax counsel, and protect your asset. You're not just selling a coin, you're seizing your future. So dig through your old jars. Ask your parents. Clamp your excitement, but don't wait. Whether you find a penny or a drawing on paper, the process you begin today may reshape your generational wealth. One more thing. If you want a free checklist, a step-by-step guide to handling and selling a rare penny so you don't self-sabotage, leave a comment or message, and I'll gift you that resource. Because your coin could be your legacy. This is your chance. Don't let a hidden fortune slip through your fingers. That's no exaggeration. This is a story of discovery, risk, and transformation, from dusty attic drawer to millionaire's ledger. If you're between 30 and 65 and you've ever glanced at your loose change and wondered, could this be worth something? This video is for you. Stay with me because by the end you may look at your coin jar with brand new eyes. Let me start with the question no one asks until it's too late. What if you tossed that penny? You wouldn't believe how many people have done just that. Nostalgia, inertia, ignorance, they've cost people fortunes. But today, your ignorance can turn into knowledge and your hesitation into action. Here's the story of the 1979 D. Lincoln cent and how it went from unnoticed to ultra-rare. You already know the Lincoln cent. It's one of the most familiar coins in U.S. history. But in 1979, something went wrong. Or rather, something went very right. A remarkably small number of D mint mark pennies, minted in Denver, were struck on proof planchets meant for collector coins rather than circulation strikes. That means instead of the normal blank discs used for pennies to be spent, these were polished, specially prepared blanks. The result? A numismatic oddity swimming under the radar for decades. For years, most coin collectors shrugged. A 1979 D cent? Big deal, millions were made, right? But until someone finally recognized that among them, a tiny subset had proof characteristics, these were hiding in plain sight, like diamonds in your glove compartment. A few years ago, one such coin emerged, shocked the numismatic world, and sold in private transaction for $830,000. The buyer? A deep-pocketed collector who recognized that scarcity and pedigree will always command top dollar. Pause, and imagine that coin you found in your old coin roll or among inherited change might not be a 1979D at all. It might be the 1979D proof anomaly. You might ask, why would anyone pay $830,000 for a penny? Here's the emotionally charged truth. Rarity begets value, but confidence in rarity commands premium dollars. If you are one of only a few people in the world with such a piece, you become part of a very exclusive club. Collectors with deep pockets don't just chase coins, they chase pieces they can't get anywhere else. And that drives every buyer into bidding wars that can redefine value overnight. Imagine dozens of wealthy collectors sitting in hushed rooms, raising paddles for the right coin. Suddenly, you're at the center of their desire. That's where this story takes you. But hold on. Before you rush to open your coin jar with sweaty palms, there's danger. Yes, danger. Because every extraordinary coin invites fraud, misattribution, and skeptics. Many would try to convince you your coin is average. Others will offer you $20 or $50 and vanish before you realize the truth. Your greatest adversary? Doubt. The fear that perhaps your coin is nothing special. That it's just another penny. You'll need proof. Grading, expert verification, provenance, all the tools needed to defend your claim in the marketplace. Without those, you're vulnerable to being cheated. So what must you do? First, authenticate. Only send your coin to top-tier grading services. The best in the U.S. include companies like PCGS or NGC. These services scrutinize surface details, planchet anomalies, and strike issues. A definitive grading is your shield. But authentication isn't enough. You need provenance, a documented chain of ownership, certificates, images showing its uniqueness. Scarcity is the promise. Provenance is proof. When your coin enters the market, buyers want to know who owned this before me. Has it ever been auctioned? How many are known? Next, condition matters hugely. You might have two 1979D proof anomalies, but if one is flawless and the other is scratched or corroded, their values will diverge dramatically. The condition is almost like soul quality. Then, controlled exposure and bidding strategy. You don't dump the coin on Craigslist. You arrange it via elite auction houses or private sales to serious collectors. In that environment, $830,000 isn't an upper limit. It's just the starting line. Now I can imagine you leaning forward, heart pounding. What if I actually found one? Here's what you do. 1. Don't breathe on it. No fingerprints. No scratching. No cleaning. That kills value fast. 2. Photograph it under correct lighting, high resolution. Capture the strike, the mint mark, the luster, any anomalies. 3. Submit it to the grading experts and wait. Weeks, maybe months. And 4, while you wait, don't tell everyone. Let the news be controlled. Once the grading comes back favorable, that's when the bidding begins, and whispers can drive the price higher. Right now, in September 2025, the market is alive. Ultra-rare Lincoln cents are commanding hundreds of thousands. This one at $830,000 is the headline grabber. Other comparable proof anomalies, though more common dates, might fetch $100,000 to $500,000, depending on demand. So your upside is real. But here's the suspense. Could someone out there already possess one, not knowing it? Yes, that's the cliffhanger. Maybe it's in your attic, your parents' shoebox, your grandpa's change jar. Could you be sitting on millions? Let me put you at ease. If you believe the odds are remote, you're exactly the person who might overlook it. But in my experience, scouring over 10,000 coins, I found certified proof anomalies in coins, others dismissed as circulation fare. If you're willing to look, informed, patient, cautious, you can discover a hidden treasure. I want you to visualize this future. You walk into a high-end auction, the spotlight on your coin, the room silent. You hear bids climbing, $500,000, $600,000, then suddenly $830,000. You are at the center of attention. You cash in a life-changing check. You know that with that money, your family's future is set. Now, I don't promise every 1979D is worth that. Only the properly certified, provable proof-type examples. This is the exception, not the rule. But the possibility, however slim, is enough to act. We're nearly at the end, but I'll leave you with one final secret. timing is everything. The market for ultra-rare coins is cyclical. When interest is high and money is abundant, buyers bid freely. But in downturns, they pull back. You want to strike while the iron is hot. The $830,000 sale has become part of the narrative. It may encourage new buyers to chase similar pieces. That means right now demand is accelerating. So if you have a coin you suspect, even faintly, you have a window. Don't wait 6 months to decide. Don't let your fears stall you. Don't let potential fraud outweigh the reward. Start the process now. I want you to do this today. Scan your coin collection. Identify all your pennies. Photograph any 1979D, any unusual strike, any coin that seems different. Send those candidates in for authentication. Even if you find nothing, you'll learn, and you'll be ready. If you do find one authentic 1979D proof anomaly, contact a top-tier auction house or numismatic broker. Don't sell to the first bidder. Let competition drive the price. Build momentum. Use the narrative, the $830,000 sale, to generate buzz. You've heard how a humble penny became headline news. Now imagine your penny doing the same. Because the real story isn't about a coin. It's about transformation. From overlooked to celebrated. From dusty drawer to millionaire status. From hesitation to empowered decision. That's the path for those bold enough to walk it. You owe it to yourself to explore. Because maybe your coin isn't just copper. Maybe it's your ticket to a new chapter of wealth. Don't wait. Don't doubt. Begin the journey now. Because your best chance to claim your legacy may be hidden in plain sight. Thank you for listening on this journey. If you found this meaningful, share it with someone who should hear it. And above all, look again at your pennies. You never know which one is your gem.